All right. We are here with another podcast. I wanted to do this talking style because I love just having my notes here, being able to go through everything. And today I wanted to talk about how to unleash your full potential, how to actually overcome limiting thoughts, beliefs, emotions, things that you don't believe even that are holding you back right now. And they're holding you back in a life that isn't what you want or identify with a life that is causing more pain and suffering than it is good because you know you value something more, you know you want more, but yet you hold yourself back. You're your own worst enemy. So I have 5 notes here on 5 things that you can do and anybody can do. And these are 5 things that essentially I've done to overcome my own limiting beliefs. You know, when I was in the dating world and having to overcome my limiting beliefs in that sense of feeling worthy and feeling like I was someone who deserved the results, I was someone who deserved better. But also in business, in my 2, 3 business ventures, and this being the third one, how to actually overcome my own self-limiting beliefs, these beliefs that were holding me back, that I'm not good enough, that I don't deserve it. Who am I? There's a little bit choppiness there. Who am I essentially to get this result? Maybe I should do something else, right? Who am I to do this? Maybe I should do something else. Maybe there's something else that's better for me. How to overcome that. And there's specifically 5 steps that I've figured out that have worked for me. So step number 1 is, before you get into any of the steps, you need to actually have the mindset and intention of growth. You have to wake up every single day and go, I want to grow. My whole intention for this day and the day after and the day after and every day building on top of that is to become a better person. Now, will I actually achieve it? Will I actually become a better person? Probably not. There's going to be some days where you're going to fall off. There's going to be some days where you're not going to be at your best. I still have those days. Every single person that I know, even the top of the top of the top or high performers, will have their quote unquote off days. However, you go into every single day with the mindset and intention of growth. Similar to discipline. If you want to build discipline, you have to go into every day going, I'm going to wake, breathe, sleep discipline. You have to wake, breathe, sleep growth. It has to be at the forefront of everything you do and don't do before you can actually overcome a lot of your limiting beliefs. This is the most important thing, because a lot of people will wake up and they just want the end result as fast as possible. They want to get to that end result quickly. And it will not happen unless you view this, instead of viewing it as a sprint, but instead view it as a marathon of growth. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is you must accept where you're at and have compassion along the path. So accept where you're at and accept where you're at and have compassion along the path. What does this mean? You have to accept, let's say you're trying to lose weight. You have to accept that you're a fat fuck right now, you're unhealthy, and that's okay. This is the beginning of the journey. Don't go into the gym expecting to look like a fit person and comparing yourself to everybody else there who is fit, who are doing crazy, wonderful things. They also had to go through the journey. So the second step is to accept everything that you are. If you are finding yourself having bad habits, accept that those are your bad habits. Accept that this is your current reality and this is your current state. And as long as you have the mindset and intention of growth on a daily basis, that's all that matters. And along the way, since we talked about this in the first step, along the way, you will fuck up. You will have those quote unquote bad days. And when you do, don't dwell on them. Okay, have compassion along the path. Do not dwell on them. Do not sit there and go, I'm a terrible person. I shouldn't have done that. And for the next 2, 3, 4 days, completely give up, which is what most people do. Go, you know what? I messed up. I messed up along the path. I didn't get the result. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. That's okay. I am still learning, and I have the mindset and intention of growth. The next hour is going to be different. The next minute is going to be different. The next 24 hours is going to be different. The next week is going to be different because you have the mindset and intention of growth. So accept where you're at and have compassion along the path. That's step 2. Now, number 3, identify with your new goals. This is something a lot of people don't do. And this is why they may even see results really quickly, but then go back to their original state. So what does identify with your new goals actually mean? For example, instead of saying, I want to eat healthy to lose weight, why don't you just say, I eat healthy because I'm an athlete? 2 completely different statements. Now, both people are eating healthy. One person is eating healthy to lose weight, which is the end goal. And once they reach that end goal, because it's not part of their identity to continue eating healthy, this is where a lot of people will fall off. They'll have, again, these are limiting beliefs that are holding you back. It's like, I'm only doing it to get that result. And once I get the result, I'm set, man. I'm good enough. This cannot be your reality. You have to identify with your new goals and add an attachment to it. So, for example, when I was in the dating industry, to actually become really good at dating, I decided to go out there as a dating coach. That is actually a pretty big secret of why I became good with dating. When I launched my product launch agency, I became an agency owner. And so everything that I've done up until this point, I've attached and labeled my ego, my identity to it so that it sticks long term. So again, if you're trying to lose weight, don't eat healthy to lose weight, because there's an end goal to there that once you get there, you're going to fall off because it's not part of your identity. Eat healthy because it's what you do, because you're an athlete. That's a completely different statement. So take a look at your goals. What goals do you have, and how can you attach a certain identity, a certain frame, a certain ego, a certain label to that goal, so that after you've reached that goal, you want to just continue further and further and further. So that's step number 3. Let's get into step number 4. Challenge your belief systems. This is going to be huge. And what I suggest every single person to do is actually pull out a piece of paper, create a new page, open it up, and start writing down all of your current beliefs. Oh, well, I've grown up in a poor family. I can't make a lot of money. I'm just a fat person. I'm just not good with money. I'm not good with girls. I'm not good at dating. I'm toxic. Whatever your current beliefs are about who you are. And the easiest way to do this is just write down who you just genuinely believe you are as a human being. What encompasses you as a human being? And what you'll find as you start to write these things down, you'll start to find where and who you think you are lies all of your belief systems, especially limiting belief systems, beliefs that are not true, or maybe even be a little bit true, but are holding you back from actually achieving the results that you want. The first thing I want you to do with these belief systems is validate the contradictory. So how can you contradict the belief system? So let's say you say, I am a fat person. Okay, you believe that you are a fat person. Well, what's the contradictory belief? The contradictory belief is, I am not a fat person. What experiences have you had up until this point to prove that you are not a fat person? Well, you can say, well, I wasn't born fat, right? The first 5 years of my life, I wasn't fat. I actually was an athlete in high school at some point, right? So I actually show restraint to certain foods at some point for a day, a week, a month. So what validations can you give to the contradictory belief, the belief that goes completely opposite of your current limiting belief? That's number 1. So you start writing all of it down. What things have you done to contradict your limiting belief system? Number 2, what alternative new belief can you give yourself that aligns to the the things that you've done against your limiting belief. Okay, so you might write down, I am a fat person. Then you start writing, well, actually for a month, I only ate salads. And when I was 5, I wasn't fat. And actually in high school, I was an athlete, whatever it may be. Well, what's the alternative belief because of these things? The alternative belief might be that I can be a fit person if I decided to be. And that's a new belief system. So you write down a new alternative belief that goes against the limiting belief with the validations that go against the limiting belief. So that's step number 4. Step number 5, which is the most important step to actually overcoming your limiting beliefs and unlocking your full potential, is reinforce the new belief that you created with action steps. It's not just you sitting down and doing this exercise and writing down all of these things and just leaving it there, not doing anything with it. The most important thing is to actually reinforce it. So if you say, for example, I don't know why I keep going back to this fat example, but just let's say this fat example, right? You say, I can show constraint to foods and I'm not actually a fat person if I don't want to be. Well, what's an action step that goes along with it? Well, the action step might be, today I will meal prep 3 foods for tomorrow. Okay, and just start off with something very, very small. Today I will go on a 10-minute, 15-minute hike. Today I will XYZ. And you want to make the action step in the next minute, hour, or the day of. Okay, don't put it off till tomorrow. Don't do an action step of next week because you're most likely going to forget. You're not going to do it. And because you're not going to do it, you're not going to actually reinforce the new belief that you created. We must reinforce the new belief today, Junior. So reinforce the new belief with an action step that's going to cause you to take a direction forward that's opposite of your limiting belief system. And when you do this, you give your brain proof that the limiting belief that you've believed in for so long is in fact, incorrect. In fact, not something that you actually truly believe, because you're doing something that's completely opposite to it. And this may at first feel very, very uncomfortable. This may cause a lot of internal resistance. You're like, oh, well, I don't want to go on a hike. I don't want to meal prep. That's where the real work begins. That's where you must do this, because then you actually truly overcome your limiting beliefs. So that's pretty much it. Those are the 5 steps. Let's do a recap of these, okay, to really unleash your full potential. Number 1, you must have a mindset of daily intention, mindset and intention of daily growth. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And along this marathon, you're going to fuck up along the path. So accept who you are right now and have compassion as you try to move forward along the path. Number 3, identify with your new goals. Actually create a label, ego attachment to your new goals. A lot of the reason why people like who do CrossFit are actually really fit. I don't really like CrossFit, like the way they do everything and it's crazy all over the place. But a huge reason why a lot of them are fit is because they call themselves CrossFitters. And because they attach that label to themselves, it's a lot easier to go in alignment with that goal. So identify with your new goals, challenge your belief system by validating the contradictory to your beliefs, and then attaching a new belief that is contradictory to your current limiting belief. And then last but not least, reinforce the new belief with an action step to do right now or today that goes against your current limiting belief. Hopefully these 5 were helpful. I love doing videos like this, just unedited, raw, uncut. If you did like this, you're watching this on YouTube, comment down below your thoughts. If you're watching this on anywhere else or listening to the podcast, let me know your thoughts. I always like feedback, and we will talk soon. Take care.